And welcome back to the Going for Two podcast. We're live in the Magnuson Bar and Event Center. College basketball still rocking. I'm with Cody Kugler. How you doing today, Cody?
Doing good. Toph, how are you?
Excellent. We have a special guest today, Chris Prunick from Munising. Currently the Munising assistant coach with the boys program, state champion a couple years ago. Was longtime assistant coach of Dan Waterman and Nagani for a while. Chris, how you doing today? Thanks for joining the Going for Two podcast.
I'm good. Thrilled to be here.
We're thrilled to have you.
I'm not snowblowing anymore. So this is an upgrade.
I shoveled my deck off yesterday just out of pure anger and spite. I just went out there and just and I shoveled it off, and I sent some pictures to some friends in Wisconsin. And they're just like, "Why do you live there?" I'm like, "I don't."
I've asked myself many times this winter, especially yesterday morning when wife got stuck in the driveway at 6:30 in the morning. I'm out there circling with the snowblower and just
this is not good. So you learned the Wizard of East Lansing because Tri-Unity has not been solved since you guys solved them 2 years ago. So, I even mentioned, I think I was on 2 podcasts ago, like somewhere along the line, they got to reach out to Coach Prunick for the secret sauce on that, on how to defend Wyoming Tri-Unity.
I'll be honest, they do have talent.
Yeah.
And nobody else picks up on it.
Yeah.
Every year I watch it, I'm curious if anybody else is going to kind of pick on it.
Yeah.
But they have. I mean, but Tri-Unity's also probably gotten a little better.
Yeah.
I don't know that Steers team was much different from the team we beat.
No, I thought it was pretty similar, actually.
Yeah. But this year, they're really good because they're so long and athletic this year.
Yeah, and the guard is really good at controlling the game, and made some shooters come off the bench, when
he doesn't have Trevor Nolan guarding him, he does really well.
Yeah, very well. That is true. That is true. So how's your off season going? What have you been thinking about as far as the off season, and are you starting to plot out for next year a little bit with Coach Knitz? And
I've been plotting probably 2-3 weeks now.
Oh, have you?
Started really kind of digging. Just between like film and I've been just studying college teams here and there. Just for fun. Kind of in the middle of scouting Final Four.
Oh.
I'm leaving for San Antonio 2 days. 2 days. So I figured, yes.
That's awesome.
And I figured I'd scout it out just for fun. And I mean, you learn a bunch just going through all of that. And I'll tell you what, when I after scouting it, and I look at my bracket, the fact that I didn't Duke even get to the Final Four, I'm regretting it pretty high because I think they're clearly the best of the four.
I agree. I don't like the matchup with Houston at all. I mean, if Houston can turn that into a rock fight, as a Duke fan, I'm a little concerned. But yeah, which coach of the four? Let's do this. Which coach of the Sweet 16? Which stuff do you like the most that he runs as far as offensively? I have an opinion on this, but I want to see where you go with this one.
I was like, Schier? Goes?
Yeah. I just like I thought Danny Hurley absolutely outcoached Golden from Florida.
He did.
His kids didn't make a shot.
No. I mean, the amount of open looks they got was crazy. If they shot a medium per day,
yeah,
they'd have beat Florida.
Yeah.
And I think as coaches go right now, there's Hurley and there's everybody else.
Yeah.
But you're seeing how Schier goes? Boy. I mean, when you're watching the hardest thing to guard that they run is a ball screen.
Yeah.
It's simple.
They slipped a lot against Alabama to get some cheap looks because I think Alabama was really going hard on the ball screen as far as hedging hard, and they slipped a couple times.
When you look at it, you really dig into Duke.
Yeah.
And you some of their stuff. hold on for dear life. When Flag is handling it like in a ball screen,
Yeah.
I'm not sure exactly what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
I mean, you could switch it fade to fade, but
He's just got
then they get you on a slip.
Yeah. 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 I think you're right. I think Shire's like just kind of maximizing his personnel with just, getting mismatches.
And he's better than I thought he was. And he's gotten better as he's gone on. Like, I think he gets a little bit of the board on third base tag.
Yeah.
Just like, that one football coach.
Yeah.
But he's better than I thought.
He impresses me defensively. I mean, Kay at the end basically gave up on defense because I remember they zoned Sparty in 2019, and I'm sitting there watching at Cognition. I'm like, why are they in the zone? I mean, that's it's. I do think Shire's a better defensive coach than Kay was towards the end. He's got it going. He's got the #1 recruiting class coming in next year with the Boozer brothers, and
I literally was texting about this team, like as the five goes.
Yeah,
like if you were creating a team on a video game, they might be it.
Yeah, they might be it.
I mean, because they have literally everything you're looking for. I mean, you have big that can erase everything at the rim. You have a 7 foot who can shoot like a guard. Oh, and he's surrounded by a bunch of guys that can shoot the hell out of him.
Yeah.
And they can also create too.
Yeah. And Knippel's really underrated. I mean, he's when he won the ACC without him, that was kind of my they're really good this year. Without Cooper Flag, I was like, oh.
He's one of those guys that never plays fast. Like he's never sped.
No.
He's always in control. His clips were by far the funnest to watch.
Yeah.
And even for Duke fans like you and me, everybody's starting to like him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now Shire comes in over Kay and, little different energy, a little different atmosphere, and not rival, but, I've heard other podcasters, other people be like, they're kind of enjoyable to watch. They don't flop as much anymore.
No, they don't.
Yeah, I see a little bit of that. I get that. Like, I'm excited to see Duke this weekend because I've never seen him.
Yeah,
but yeah, I can see how it's changing a little. Like for me, the only reason it switches a little. Like I'm not a Duke fan. I'm not jumping on the bandwagon, but like I will follow teams a little more when I think that their coach is good.
Yeah.
I think Shire's pretty good.
Yeah, I do too. Who are you rooting for down there if you had to pick one team to win it all? Houston.
And I know they're playing Duke, and that kind of contradicts a little, but
because Calvin Sampson's essentially Dan Waterman.
Tell me that's not a Westwood team.
Yeah, exactly. I figured you'd root for Houston. Yeah. Don't listen to this; he'll be smiling. Yeah.
You gotta kind of favor the team that uglies it up a little bit.
Yeah, and they do. I mean, they defended the hell out of Tennessee. That game was over early.
Yeah. One of the funnest teams to watch defensively. And just little things they do defensively. Like if you're going to break a team, like if you're looking for the best teams to steal from defensively, you start with them.
Yeah, Houston. I mean, watching that Tennessee game, Tennessee just got desperate. They started jacking up threes. I can't remember. I think it was number 11 for Tennessee started just pumping them up for 14, and that game was over.
If you can't hit a few shots against Houston, they're going to beat them.
Yeah. What plans do you have this summer, do you think, so far? Is your summer planned yet as far as what your team's going to do? You and Coach
Terry and I talked, and we're going to go to Baylor again in June. I imagine we'll go to Tech again. It's a whole lot of skill work.
Tell you what, Tech. If you go to Tech, that makes me look good as an official when you go there. It's like hand-to-hand combat up there.
Man, that's all summer.
Yeah.
I mean, all summer is so physical.
Yeah.
Like, Gaylord's worse.
Is it?
Gaylord's terrible.
We used to go to Petoskey, and they used to have pretty decent officials. But we always get matched up. We got matched up against Rockford a couple of years ago. That was pretty physical.
Well,
so
it's down at Gaylord. They're not Italian fouls.
Yeah.
So they're calling fouls, but they don't want to keep going.
Well,
so the kids are well aware. They're not going to follow. Like, you get the morning games, kids are lazy.
Yeah.
Hell on earth, man.
The thing is as a guy who refs travel ball, I get paid as the clock runs to stand at the free throw line. The clock does not stop.
That's for Gaylord.
So yeah, Gaylord. The big thing about those camps, I like going to those camps because you play teams you never played before.
Yeah.
That's
exactly why we go there.
I mean, even when I hosted that one, I tried to mix it up. So it's not, Westwood Nagani for the 40th time this summer.
God, the amount of times when I was with Nagani, and we went to Tech and Marquette multiple times, and it's a summer game. Oh, it's just a war.
It is.
The amount of times you had to literally break up just about fights.
Yeah.
Multiple times.
Well, they're not getting thrown out. There's not technicals or anything, and
exactly. And they're well aware of it.
Yeah. Go ahead, Code.
I do got a question for you, boss. And I know Dan Waterman, we all do here. And I'm curious because I recall this when this man over here took me under his wing to coach basketball. But what's one thing that stuck with you firsthand that you never would have realized being under Dan at the beginning of your coaching career? What's one thing that you preach, prayer, that you would never get rid of?
Like for me or for the team?
For you, your principles and what you leave as a coach.
Outwork everybody. That's rule number one. Like, that's why during basketball season, my average time falling asleep is probably 4 in the morning. We always say at the beginning of the season we're going to be the most team in the state. I'd like to live up to that promise.
All right. What division are you going to be next year?
We think 4.
You think 4?
We were 3 by a kid.
Yeah.
And the incoming class is small, and the class leaving is big.
Yeah. So do you think the MHSA should go to 5 division? I mean, football, you have 10 divisions right now.
Yeah.
It's nearly impossible not to make the playoffs in football.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't think. Yeah.
In basketball, you have these huge division swings. Like Westwood, Ishpeming. Westwood's almost double the size of Ishpeming.
I mean, you could break up 2 is the big one.
Yeah.
Like if you split 2 right down the middle.
Yeah.
Then you're really good at it. But they won't do it like that.
No.
Because obviously I'm a little biased.
Right.
I like more than like 3.
I mean, and that's the thing is for you, it's, you are a Division 4 team. I mean, you're 8-man football, 100 and what do you have, 180 kids this year?
Yeah, it's right around that number. It might be 79.
Yeah, so I mean, in reality, Westwood has probably like 210 kids more than you did.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and you're in the same division. I mean, yeah, I mean, it's and it's like people don't think it matters, but the depth is the biggest thing. Yeah. I mean, I watched your Menominee game. They just had more kids that could go in and do what was expected of them.
Double the enrollment, but that wasn't, I don't think, the difference in
Right.
It's not that doesn't matter because it absolutely knows.
Yeah.
I thought the same thing in the Ghana when we got bumped to right towards the end of my tenure there.
Yeah.
And we played he's double our size.
Yeah.
Literally enrollment height of each player.
Exactly. Exactly.
We had barely a kid over 6 feet, and this is when they had both Hudsons.
Yeah.
They had another big that was like 6'6", and their guards were like 6'2", and they play a 1-3-1 extended.
Yeah, and no one can see over it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think they should go to 5 at least. I mean, it's probably going to be a nightmare logistically. I mean, you might have to do like Wednesday night, Division 5, and then Thursday, Friday, and then, might have to move.
The MHSA moves and the pace they move at.
Well, that's the thing. Football finals this year, there's the in 11-man. Now you have Michigan State is going to be at Ford Field on Saturday. So now the football finals on Thanksgiving weekend are going to be Friday, Sunday. It's like Sunday. Yeah. Back to college basketball. Arkansas melted down against Texas Tech, and then Texas Tech does the same thing. They caught the flu from the night before, and I mean, watching that game, I mean, just all I can think. When I watch these games, I think of like structured coaches saying, "Why are we taking this shot 10 seconds into the possession, or why we get offense rebound and we shoot another 3?" And that's kind of the feeling I got during the Texas Tech game.
Yeah, sometimes in those situations, good decisions aren't always made.
No.
Not always sticking player. It's just one of those, like, usually they know better. But it's like putting their brain in the blender sometimes.
Somebody wanted to be the hero.
Yeah, it just
didn't pan out.
I mean, I was like, Texas Tech's coach, just call a timeout and say, okay, we're up 7, lax, good possessions, secure the ball, different things like that. And it's just, just to see that, a lot of these games had runs. Look at Auburn. I mean, they had 2 big runs, one against Michigan late in the second half, the 34-8, and then the 17-0 run against Michigan State. That's essentially the game.
Once it got downhill, Michigan in particular was.
Yeah, and Michigan's guards kind of. I always thought Auburn's guards had an advantage, and then obviously the dam kind of broke at the end. And, I thought Michigan had a chance at the end of the first half to put that game up by like 10 points with the silly turnovers that Auburn was making. Exactly.
The silly turnovers they have, we dribble it off our line.
Yeah.
Or just like Michigan had these moments where they go into what I call JV mode, where they just decided to just throwing it to the other team. Like, just make the dumbest possible decision you can make. And I thought early in the season, I thought, okay, they're going to figure this out. They're really talented. Like, turnovers don't just stay a number. They'll just keep doing this.
And they did.
To their credit, they're really consistent.
Like consistent. I thought he did a really good job this year, Dusty May.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I thought
one of the better ones too. I'm biased. So.
Yeah, you're a Michigan guy. Michigan State, I said this all year, and once again, really, I am right. You can't, when you see the little screen on the CBS TV thing that says Michigan State has not scored in 4 minutes and 15 seconds, and you see it in the first half against Auburn, and you see it in the second half against Auburn. It's like, and that's their Achilles heel. They can't shoot. The one possession when it was 20-8 was unbelievable. I was just sitting there like, the basketball gods got to let them hit a 3. They just got 4 offensive rebounds.
I mean, if they could just shoot like they did against Michigan,
yeah.
But just like you look at the first weekend.
Yeah.
They shot probably a little above average.
Yeah.
I don't know if they get through the tournament.
Yeah.
Like opening weekend, they didn't play great.
No, they didn't play well. My wife she went to bed when they were playing New Mexico with like 7 minutes left. She's like, they suck. I'm going to bed. She's a big Michigan State person. I'm like, okay, but yeah, it was just an interesting, dynamic that, with all the money, the transfer portal, all that you can't find a, consistent shooter. And that's what I think separates like Duke with Proctor. He's the kid from Florida has been on fire too. I'm having a brain cramp here. The little guard that hit the 2 threes against UConn at the end.
Carter.
Yeah.
I don't think it was Carter.
Oh. But yeah, it's just like having a shooter matters. What are you thinking when you go down there? I can't believe you're going to San Antonio. Good for you. Hopefully you get out of here. Where are you flying?
We should be okay. Green Bay.
Oh, you'll be
Green
fine.
Bay's on Thursday.
Yeah.
Like, there's some storms across the country left in Dodge, but I think we'll be fine. It's my second year in a row going.
Oh, yeah? You went last year?
So there's a group of guys from Munising. They are their own never miss four club.
Yeah.
And last year, my brother kind of joined. So
nice.
Warm
weather would be nice.
Yeah, 90 degrees is going to be a little different than this.
Oh, yeah, this has just been brutal. So what are you looking for in the Auburn-Florida game?
That's the one I probably... I don't know which way to lean. To be dead on. Like, it's going to be a rock fight.
Yeah.
Because they know everything about each other. Yeah. I'm obviously keeping a little eye on getting closer on because, sometimes a little money. Can you keep that one goes? I don't know if I want to touch it.
Can you bet? Is Texas a betting state or no? No, it's like...
So it's all going to be done before we cross the Michigan.
I've always been sounds familiar. I texted him on Thursday night. I'm like, "Do you have an account?" He's like, "What? Do you have FanDuel or something?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "Give me a parlay." And they actually hit it.
Yeah, I got to give you that. I got to vend him a loop.
I'm out on parlays. All singles now.
All singles. Nice.
After Friday of opening weekend, and since then, done well.
Nice. Actually, I had one question about your coaching career too.
Yeah.
Describe the environment. I went to it, the Jeffers game, your quarterfinal game. I went to it and I I think I had an appointment in Marquette and I got there at like 5:30 and the place was absolutely wall to wall. There's like people standing in the hallways and I'm like, what is this?
So as it goes for me, as that game goes, it wasn't that unfamiliar of an environment for me.
Right.
Because the first time I coached McCann, we had a regional semi against Ewan. And that's back when all 4 teams were at one site.
Okay.
And we had the first game. And when we got in the third quarter of that game, they were 3 or 4 deep up.
Yeah.
So it was a real similar environment.
Yeah.
And obviously, a few times when like Iron Mountain came to town.
Yeah.
It was coaching at the Gone or anytime. Most times we played instrument.
Yeah.
But as that game goes on, there's a little more pressure to it than the others. And that's the one most people from Munising always seem to reference that game. The kids couldn't hear us at all. Like,
impressive.
Thank God. even me.
Yeah.
Thank God our JV coach had the wherewithal to write down all our plays on a paper. And when say if Trevor gets his free throws, he'd ask, "What do we want?" He'd have no, hang it up.
That's weird. That was a really good Jeffers team, by the way.
Oh, absolutely. There wasn't one of them couldn't cheat off of. Everyone could shoot.
Hypothetical question: you lose to Jeffers that night. Do they beat Wyoming Tri-Unity? Pass. Okay.
Pass.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave that one sit there.
You can. All right.
Use your imagination.
I will.
Yeah, I do got to give you guys kudos and your fan base. I know we just talked about it, but even when you guys made it down to the Breslin,
oh, you guys rock!
I mean, you guys. I did the eye check when we went down there this year. You guys killed everybody out of the 3 UP teams. Out of the 3 UP teams this year. So kudos to you guys for always having a good following. I'd say you guys are top 3 following for your sports fans right now. So kudos to you.
Yeah, they're crazy here. It's hard to describe. I tried to describe it before, but there's just such a passion and pride from everybody in Munising. When we go down to sing the same year as last release, Turn Up the Lights. I get goosebumps just saying.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure.
But I absolutely noticed that this year. I mean, both our games, we had especially the final, we had a whole corner, of just us. We travel well.
Yeah, you do travel well. I remember I officiated, I think it was 2014 when you made it to the state finals in football in Division 8. And I officiated your game in St. Louis, and I could not hear the side judge when he'd yell to me what the penalty was from the side. He'd have to come onto the field and we'd talk about it. The sideline was so loud on the Munising side that he couldn't hear just from the fans. I mean, it was incredible, And that was
obviously I'm biased. Yes.
Yeah.
But I've coached for a long time. I've coached at more than one school.
Yeah.
I've seen whatever school in the UP. I don't know a better fan base. I'm biased, but like our fans show up. They care about as much as we do.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I would agree with that. It's pretty, you guys travel really well, even Christmas tournaments at Ishpeming or Westwood or whatever, you guys travel really well.
Yeah. It's just a general, just pride. I mean, we take a general pride in UP, and every time someone's going down state, our fire truck's leading the way through town.
Exactly. As long as M28's not shut down.
Yeah. As long as M28's not shut down.
You have to reroute to Rapid River. Like they had to. Do you like the boys? I hate this. Do you like the boys' finals being so early?
It's different.
It is.
Different. I mean, we played March 25th final.
Yeah. And now it's over, what was it, March?
2 weeks ahead.
15th, yeah. Was the last day of the final. Yeah. It's March. Yeah, it's just I hate that it starts with football, though. You still have football going on and then basketball starts.
I vividly remember, I think Thursday night we won semis.
Yes.
Having Gonzaga, UCLA on the train.
Yeah.
On TV while scouting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like when we're still playing and the tournament's going on.
Yeah, this year the Big Ten
was going on.
Yeah, the Big Ten was going on. So, all right. As far as Elite Eight, we talk a little bit. The biggest thing for me was, Bama can't. Duke's length, I think, is a big factor as far as how they play Houston, especially at the guard position. I thought that was the biggest thing against Alabama was their length on the perimeter gave Bama shooters fits, in my opinion.
Different kind of athletes and different kind of size.
Yeah. I think that will help them against Houston. My biggest concern for Duke is just if it turns into a rock fight, can they handle it? Like the physicality.
They punch back.
Yeah.
It's not like so everybody's going to reference last year. Was it 54, 51?
Yeah. When Duke won.
Yeah. See, the thing is for me is like, I think this team's way better. Way better. And I know Houston was in the small, but Duke's significantly better than they were a year ago.
Yeah, I would agree with that. This is, people talk like the Barrett Williamson team, Cam Reddish team. This team is so much more skilled, in my opinion. They're just athletic.
The physical too.
Yeah.
People flag is physical when he gets into the lane. He's one dribble and he is into you.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I think the key to that game is the start, in my opinion. I think Houston has to have a good start in that game.
Yeah. They're gonna struggle coming from behind.
Yeah.
And I think it's gonna be one of those things where they get a lead and it's pressure on Duke. Because you need a little pressure on the supporting guys. If you're going to beat Duke, that's how you're going to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to make, you can't let Flagg and Proctor and Knipple get theirs.
No.
One of them has to be shut down.
Yeah. And that's a tall task. Big time. Especially with Flagg.
Yeah.
Team man.
Yeah, I don't know what Houston's going to put on him.
You gotta have somebody that can handle it physically.
Yeah.
Because if he just bumps you and gets to his line, It's over.
Yeah.
It's absolutely over. You have to have somebody that can take that bump and hold the line.
Yeah. That's it.
And if it were me, I'd push him right. But you have to hold the line.
Yeah. I just laugh because I remember when you and Dan Waterman were coaching. I think it was my first year. Poor Alex is out there, and you guys were like, Alex is a sophomore with his mask on out there, looking like.
Yeah, said those words a few times.
Yeah, I think Florida blows out Auburn. That's just my opinion.
I'd agree with you on that.
Yeah, it depends what Florida you get.
Yeah,
they'll play better than they did on Sunday.
Yeah, I think so too. I think the Auburn thing ignites them a little bit. Auburn, number 1 seed, number 1 overall seed, even though Florida won the SEC tournament, beat Auburn towards the end, had the same record. I think there's a little bit of a red ass going into that from Florida.
Did they beat them each time? I'm trying to remember.
Yeah,
for the life of me.
Yeah, they blew them out in Auburn.
So that's the hold up then.
Yeah,
the old adage of
they beat them like 3 times. Yeah. So I mean, I think their bigs give the big guy from Auburn a lot of problems. Just because they're long and they're very athletic, and and that's like the same with Duke. I think Houston's going to struggle at the rim against the 2 rim protectors Duke puts out there.
And Auburn didn't shoot particularly well either.
No,
we just played State.
State shot worse.
I mean, what was it here? Auburn was 28% from 3, 5% from the free throw line.
Yeah, what was State from there?
I didn't want to look.
I think they were like, I know and Fears at one point were 2 for 18 combined from the field at one point. Yeah, you're not winning it again.
I mean, nobody outdid themselves like Tennessee, though. 17 from 3.
They're 0 for 14. And then we have to mention Maryland's coach, basically taking another job a couple hours before his Sweet 16 game. It's like, I cannot believe this.
Did you guys see the Scott Van Pelt roast show?
No, I did not.
Was he pissed? Yeah, I mean, he's a Marylander.
Yeah.
He was not politically correct.
No,
in his response to him leaving. But they get Buzz Williams.
Yeah, I can't tell. Today was April Fool's, so I'm still.
Buzz went there.
Buzz went there. Oh wow!
Which might be an upgrade. I like Buzz.
I like Buzz. Buzz is kind of built in your wheelhouse. He's a Chris Beard type, Yeah.
Kind of. Yeah. He's in that range.
He's in that range. Yeah. Yeah. So, like I said, they had. There's one April Fool's one today where they had.
I seen a Rogers one, and I didn't.
I seen a Rogers. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, which is real and which is not.
My middle brother sent me that Rogers one.
Yeah.
And I just texted him back. I said, "Is this really the best you got?"
Pretty much. Was it the retiring one
again?
No. That it was signing with the Packers.
Oh Jesus! We don't want that.
Are you a Packers fan, Chris?
Yes.
Are you in the draft?
No. I've got a kid on the way.
Oh,
21st.
Oh, congratulations!
Thank you.
Nice.
Unfortunately, means I'm gonna have to miss the draft, but. I guess.
I don't think you're missing much. I was down in Green Bay this past weekend, and every time I brought up the draft, every food worker's eyes got like this big. Like,
exactly.
I don't know what we're gonna do.
That's gonna be a nightmare because you're talking like three times. If they get what Detroit got,
yeah,
3 times in days.
Well, I don't know if you listened to our podcast, but we talked to one of the people. They have like 29 septic people on call because technically Green Bay's sewer system takes 3 days for a Lambeau home game to infiltrate into it, and they're anticipating so many more people. And their biggest fear of the food workers when I was down there was this, like, if the weather's shitty, everyone's gonna be inside.
Yeah.
Oh no. Yeah. They're like, we don't know. I mean, this could be balls to the wall. He's like, one's like, I don't know if our point of sales system is gonna hold up if there's this many cards and all that. And so yeah, it's interesting talking to people. Anxiety is
creeping up.
Yeah, imagine you see a snowstorm.
Oh, that'd be awesome to see Big Raj up there with a parka.
Never coming.
Yeah.
The first pick, shivering. All the players would stay in the green room. They wouldn't come out.
Photoshop me in up there.
Exactly.
It'd be the end of any event like this in Green Bay ever.
Having it in Vegas inside from the rest of the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's interesting. So you're a Packers fan. What do you want him to draft? Who do you want him to draft?
That's a great question. And I actively coaches group talking about this like daily. I don't know. I usually trend towards what are they going to do rather than what do I want.
Right.
Because what I want is probably not.
Yeah.
They're usually pretty boring. They're going to invest in another 401k.
Yeah. They're usually pretty boring. Crypto not.
Defensive line.
Defense.
I think it's good.
Yeah.
Defensive year.
Yeah.
Kenny Clark's not getting any younger.
No.
He's got a deal they can part with. Especially in a year, it's even easier to part with. I won't be shocked if he goes defensive line. Like if we took Kenneth Grant.
Yeah. He basically won the Ohio State game. I mean,
him and Grant.
Yeah, I'm not a Michigan fan. I despise Ohio State. That is one of my favorite games ever, I think. Just to see Ohio State lay an egg as a 20-point. And to me, their national championship is like a half a national championship. It's like,
I've never seen a team pucker the way they puckered.
Oh my God.
With the odds and how much they're supposed to win and how dominant they're supposed to be. And, they did win, but just watching that game was like, I feel the nerves.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's weird to look at the national championship the same as some of the others because the other years, they're not even in it.
No, they're not.
They're in the end of it.
Yeah, they're in the opt-out bowl.
Yeah.
Like they were last year against Missouri. Yeah.
It's like Michigan just beat them.
Yeah.
They dared to run. They showed up front. They thought they could run against, and they beat them.
Nope.
And they wanted to prove they were tough guys, and those two came out.
Yeah. Like I said, it's one of my favorite games just because I'm just not an Ohio State fan. I have to go to Columbus for work at the end of the month. Yeah, I know. Like, shower a few times. I'll feel dirty walking around there. Yeah. So what do you think? There was a story last week that Michigan State reached out to Urban Meyer in 2004 when he was at Bowling Green. He was interested in the Michigan State job and they never called him.
Or no, the headhunter.
Yeah,
the headhunter told Urban that they want a tier 1 coach. And I think they grabbed the guy from Louisville.
Yeah, John L. Smith.
John L. Smith.
Yeah, who's
on the L.
Yeah. And he was just like, he was a disaster. His halftime against, I can't remember, it was Ohio State or something. He was screaming and yelling, and it was like one of the big halftime interview meltdowns. But I mean, you think about how history could change, because let's be candid, Urban hates Michigan. So he would have stayed at Michigan State for at least 3 or 4 years. Maybe he goes Florida-ish, all depends on. Yeah. But he would have been at Michigan State for probably 3 or 4 years. And yeah, I was just like, when he said that, I was like, no. When I could see State fans, like, we had John L. Smith, and then they had, who's the guy after that before Bobby? Yeah.
I mean, there's another way to look at it, too.
Yeah.
Because there's no guarantee Urban would have became Urban.
I think he would have became Urban.
I mean, he went from Utah to Florida.
Yeah.
Recruiting at Florida is a hell of a lot easier than it is Michigan State. Especially at Michigan State at that time.
But I think, the whole thing, the one thing I think he would have been successful is the Big Ten stunk back then. It was Ohio State, Michigan, and the rest stunk.
Yeah.
So I think he could have been like a third place team with maybe an upset win every now and then.
And I want you to understand this about Urban.
Yes.
I think Urban's a great coach. I think Urban's one of the better college football coaches of the last 2 decades.
Yeah.
But like when you really think about it, the team that he stepped into at Florida, a lot more full than what he would have stepped into at Michigan State.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, I mean, the whole thing is like when he was at Utah, Notre Dame wanted him, and he didn't want to go to Notre Dame because of the academic restrictions as far as recruiting.
Yeah.
He watched Charlie Weiss basically overachieve for 3 years with no defensive talent that's going to make the NFL. So that's why Urban took Florida, and obviously he recruited some questionable
restrictions on the recruiting there. None.
No. You want to talk a little more NFL draft before we let you go?
Sure.
What are the Giants doing? So they have to be taking Travis Hunter at 3.
You think?
With Jameis and now Russell Wilson. For some reason, the Titans are going to take Ward at 1, which I don't get. I think Cleveland. I mean, the thing is, Cleveland's the wild card now because I don't think they'll take Abdul Carter at 2 if they just re-signed Myles Garrett, unless they want to. Yeah.
I mean, we can't have
no. So that puts the Giants at 3. They got to sign Travis Hunter. That's got to be the guy.
Isn't the 4th Patriots?
Yes.
If Carter drops to them.
Yeah, if Carter drops to the Patriots, but they need so many offensive weapons that they'd probably be better off to go up to 3 and get Hunter.
True.
Yeah, it's an interesting dynamic. But when they signed Russell Wilson, when they signed Jameis, I'm like, whatever. It's a good backup, fun guy, sell a few jerseys. When they signed Russell Wilson, I was like, what?
But they're both not long term.
No. And the other thing is Shedeur Sanders, if he gets past like 9, he's doing an Aaron Rodgers slide.
Yeah.
That's going to be,
I'm not super sold on like the quarterback class.
No. And I actually, just to back this up, so I have next year's quarterback rankings from PFW. Cam Ward would be the 3rd quarterback in next year's class behind Nico and Arch Manning. And then Shedeur would be tied with Drew Aller. And then it gets Jackson Dart would be below Lenoris Sellers from South Carolina, Garrett Nussmeier from LSU. So, yeah, I mean, next year's class is significantly better and deeper.
Yeah.
And that's why if I'm the Titans, I take Abdul Carter, sign Aaron Rodgers, go 10-7, and you can draft your quarterback next year.
Get some draft capital.
Or you just take Carter and play it out with your quarterback.
Will Levis?
Get a good pick.
Well, and that's my other thing is like this coach has had 1 year with Will Levis. I mean, there's obviously Will Levis is not the most accurate passer, but there's still an opportunity to like work with him as far as the learning curve and different things like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd go 8. Go 1 more year. Is that good?
Yeah.
Quarterback, you'll get a pick.
Yep. That's what I would do.
Well, regardless of the Giants' decision making, probably just freaking franchise tag him in 4 years and let him go. And the team will bank off of that immensely.
I can't see Russell Wilson as a Giant. That's the other thing I'm struggling with.
I laughed at, social media always killing it. People trying to figure out what the next catchphrase is for Russ.
Oh, God.
New York.
Yeah.
Like, geez.
So come on, everyone. Pass. One thing about the Browns, I'm a draft nerd, by the way. I love the draft. The Browns basically said they made a mistake at the owners' meetings with Deshaun Watson. I mean, they basically, as an active person on the roster, basically said, yeah, we just didn't know what we were getting into.
They're screwing the pooch big time.
Yeah.
I mean, aside from that, they're trying to leave.
Yeah.
I mean, people are not happy about that.
No, not at all. But it's just
saying that about Watson. It's like you just can't still be obvious.
Yeah.
That's his
I'm glad you identified the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
And
the cap
hit. What do you mean? It's a bad trade.
I mean, if I'm over there, I'm hoping that Achilles injury is like a creander right now and this right off into the sunset.
And can it tear again?
Honestly,
yeah. Because it'd be interesting to see if they go quarterback too. At I think they're at 2.
Probably depends on the
yeah, it's gonna be an interesting draft. This is one of the drafts that's
not at 2.
Yeah.
I mean, if they came back, maybe Sanders.
Yeah, Sanders or Jackson Dart or something like that.
Yeah.
You didn't watch any women's Final Four? No? I like Paige Beckers. I like Paige Beckers. I watched her last night. She was really good. Yeah.
I kind of, I'm married to someone who's not the biggest basketball fan. So when I've got the tournament on that long, I probably don't want it on another day.
Honey, it's Netflix night. We are going to be watching, whatever on Netflix.
You got to pick and choose.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I hear you there. I hear you. I mean, sometimes I'll have a college football day all day, and then on Sunday I'll be like, absolutely, we'll go to Black Rocks and we'll have a beer.
The TVs are on there too.
Somewhere where there's a TV. It's easier for football. I'll say that. Because football is more like basketball, which we're doing basketball coach.
Yeah. Do you coach watching the games? So, like, my wife laughs at me because I'll yell during Duke games. I mean, like, what are you doing? Why are you switching that? Watch the slip. Where's the close out? Do you do that too?
I'm going through scenarios in my head. And there's little things I'm looking for, like X and Y's. Each team's doing.
Yeah.
Like I was enamored by who was 0 for Auburn. Well, he is one of the weird ones that he's left-handed. Right.
Yeah.
State's the team that figured it out.
Yeah.
And was able to slow him down. And I was just like the Leonardo DiCaprio gif pointing at the TV. That's what I was doing. I'm like, oh,
I'm curious. Do you see games more from a basketball perspective or a football perspective? I've seen you animated in both ways, but I'm curious.
I think my problem officiating basketball, and Chris will attest to this because he's seen me officiate this year, is I get caught watching. No, I do. I did this exact thing. Like, up and down, okay. What are they doing? He's slipping. Oh shit! I should have called that foul.
Now I know what I'm going to say to you next time. You just gave me exactly what I'm going to say to you.
I'll tell you the game plan after this, ref.
I like football because I think I'm more analytical in football because I just kind of look at the formations and all that, and it's just kind of like, yeah, you've seen me during I'm watching a Florida game and I'm like, okay, why is it, oh my God, there's a ball on the right side, short side. Yeah, I think the unique thing about basketball is a hot shooter can, no matter how good your game plan is, Trevor Nolan, he can kill your defensive game plan because he can hit one from 35 feet.
Yeah, no.
Football, you rarely have an athlete on the field that can outdo a good defensive game plan.
Yeah.
You rarely have the guy. I mean, I can think Carson Wonders against Ishpeming many, many years ago. I mean, all they did was Ishpeming stuffed him, and all they did was just throw it up to him, and Ishpeming's tallest defensive back was like 5'8". So, I mean, but besides that, I mean, basketball, you can do everything you want, and Trevor Nolan hits one from 30 feet, and I'm just like, are you serious?
I think like for me, when it comes to football, I think it's really simple. And I hate sounding cliche or anything like that, but it's all about approach.
Yeah, it is.
Who wins up front? More likely wins the game.
I love watching the line play.
Yeah,
I can typically tell within the first quarter, unless if it changes, halftime adjustments, whatnot. But that's where edge rushers are so high in demand.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just ruin game plans. I mean, not ruin them, but they can cause you to change your game plan to a different and not as successful path to try to win.
Like as a Packers first ball.
Yeah.
Think about a year ago. The first 8 games, like there's kind of questions wondering if Rob's any good. And it's
I'm still trying to figure that out.
He'll be just fine. But it's like, go look at the offensive line. The first 8 games last year. They're terrible.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The back half, they flipped the switch. And all of a sudden, first 8 games, Matt semi-hot seat, can't call a game. The last 8 games, you get a massive commentator saying he's the best play caller in the NFL.
Yeah.
And to me, based on the offensive line.
Yeah. From the high school level, one thing I do enjoy is like I like watching good coaches out formation the other coach on offense. That's one of my favorite things. Like, because I usually white hat, and I'm just like, okay, motion, okay. Oh, they didn't shift. Well, this is gonna be a touchdown. Yeah, but
very different games.
they are
Level.
they're fun though. Any final thoughts before we sign off here?
Oh, final thoughts. To you, Chris, appreciate you being on the pod. And I am jealous of you going to San Antonio.
Yeah.
I hope you have an absolute blast.
That should be fun.
Oh, it'll be great. I mean, it's going to be you have great teams. I mean, everyone's like, we want Cinderella. No, you don't want to, because they go to the Final Four and they lose by 30.
Cheap tickets.
Yeah.
That's what they equal. Cheap tickets.
Yeah.
Tickets.
Yeah.
Like when Duke was up 15, like 2 minutes ago.
Yeah.
The tickets, Ticketmaster went from like 230 cheapest before that to like 650, 700.
God.
Mm-hmm.
I already bought mine. Mine's good.
I just wanted to compare.
So you're telling me you're selling them to pay for the trip?
Good. But
I mean, look at this.
I want to go. So,
Yeah, exactly.
I only got Saturday tickets so far. Monday's easier because whoever loses,
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll get rid of them. Yeah. But yeah, thanks for coming on, Chris. It's been awesome. It's been fun.
What's your shout out?
Yeah, and we'll definitely get you on again. But yeah, do you have a shout out before we sign off here?
Nothing off the top of my head.
All right. Well, enjoy San Antonio, and thanks for coming on. We're gonna have you on during football season. I think that's gonna be a good conversation.
That works. I got time in.
Yeah.
Don't come asking me during the winter, though.
Yeah, we
Tend to
won't.
be busy.
Yeah, tend to be busy. I hear you there. Thank you very much. Have a great time in San Antonio, and we'll look forward to talking to you soon.
Thank you.